Happy Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much for joining me on this wonderful day of December 10th, 2020. I am your meteorologist, Liam Kenny, and today I'm going to be doing a podcast, and this podcast will be on how the different types of pressure systems that we get down here in the U.S. affect the jet stream patterns and how they affect our everyday weather. Now, I'm only going to be showing you one or two graphics just because I feel like I can get down to the basics and, really explain to you just with these two graphics, but just please be sure that you're paying attention to this because what I'm about to show you is actually really, really interesting. So here are the four types of fronts that we get here in the U.S. So we have a warm front, a cold front, a stationary front, and a occluded front. And real fast, I'll go over the definitions of what all of these are. So a cold front is just a type of front that brings a lot of colder air after it kind of rains. So on a rainy day, we get the rain, then at night it's kind of windy and cloudy, and then you may notice that the next day it's kind of cold. Well, that's because there's a lot of cold air behind all that rain, which is based on the cold front. And as soon as that cold front comes through, it brings all that cold air with it brings all that cold air with it. And once the cold air is now to the east of you, it kind of puts the cold air in place and stays there for a few days. So that's basically what a cold front is. And then going down to a warm front, basically the warm front is the exact same thing, except it brings a lot of warmer air. When a warm front comes through, you get the rain. Then that night it's windy and cloudy, and then the next day we see our temperatures back up, or I guess you could say a little higher than they were the day before that. That's basically what a warm front is. Now going into the two more complex fronts are going to be a stationary front and a occluded front. And what a stationary front is it's two different types of fronts, obviously a cold front and a warm front. But the thing is that neither of them are strong enough to overtake another. So the warm front is not strong enough to overtake the cold front, and the cold front is not strong enough to overtake the warm front. Basically, at the time that both of these fronts are trying to overtake one another, they kind of form one main front, and that's called a stationary front. So it's a warm front. It's a warm front combines with a cold front because neither of them are strong enough to overtake one another. And then basically an occluded front is the exact opposite. An occluded front forms when one front does overtake one another. So for example, an occluded front forms when either a warm front overtakes a cold front or a cold front overtakes a warm front, and it becomes another different type of front. So those are the four main types of fronts. Now this graphic I'm currently showing you is how areas of high and low pressure pretty much drive the jet stream. And all the jet stream is a big wind pattern way up in the top levels of the atmosphere that basically drive all the weather that we get here in the United States. So as you all can see right now, I want you to focus on that one big dip in the jet stream pattern that's over the mid-Atlantic right here. And what that is, that's an area of low pressure because obviously we have areas of high pressure and we have areas of low pressure. Now what areas of low pressure have is they obviously have a cold front on the back of it that basically forms that long line of precipitation. Now any rain or precipitation that you see on the top of that's usually the warm front, which basically just has rain on that. But then on the back of that, when everything changes over to wintry precipitation, that's when the cold front comes through. So basically what an area of low pressure is it's just a regular area of low pressure that comes down from from Canada and the North Pole. Obviously with the cold front, it brings down a lot of cold and polar air, and it's basically the exact opposite of what a high pressure system is. What a high pressure system is that's where it brings the jet stream pattern way up to the north. You can see in the western parts of the United States how it goes way up and then it goes way back down. But when it goes way up, that's when an area of high pressure forms, and it's basically the exact same thing as a low pressure system. It does have, I think it actually has a warm front on the back of it instead of a cold front, because what happens when you get an area of high pressure is that it brings a lot of warm and moist air from the Pacific Ocean. So a lot of times, unless it's really, really cold, you're really going to get more regular weather instead of wintry weather. Okay, so that's basically what happens here in the northern hemisphere whenever we get areas of high and low pressure, how they form our different types of fronts. So basically that's the exact I guess you could say format of what we get here. The jet stream pattern drives every type of weather that we get. It drives areas of high and low pressure, and it drives basically all the weather that we get here in the United States. So that is all I have for you all today. Thank you all so much for watching. I know this was a quick podcast. I just figured I tell all of you so much about we have areas of high and low pressure and how they drive the jet stream pattern. So I wanted to just do a quick video explaining to you all what this actually means and how it affects the weather. So that is all I have for you all today. I will be doing another big video tomorrow. If any of you watched my video from last night, I talked about the forecast for the rest of this week, going into this weekend, and then also going into next week. Well, tomorrow morning, Friday morning, I will be doing another big broadcast. It will feature the forecast for this weekend and also next week, but I will also be mentioning the beach and surf forecast and also the boating forecast for tomorrow. So definitely be sure that you are tuning into both my YouTube channel and also my website. Anywhere from around maybe 10:30 to 11 o'clock, I will post it on my YouTube channel and my website. So please be sure that you are tuning in, or I guess you could say refreshing both of those things as we approach the 11 o'clock hour for that newest video. It's going to be a big video. I'm going to try and explain a little bit more on that. I'm not exactly sure what else I may have in there, but it's definitely going to be a big video, and I promise you will definitely not want to miss it. So once again, that is all I have for you all today. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoy it and have a great day.